Episode 2 of MobLand begins with Harry looking over the aftermath of Archie's death and working to clean the place up. And he also demanded to bring some plastic bag. He suggested to change the floorboards because there's a hole in. He said to Kiko to get rid of Archie's car. He also learns about what went down from Kevin. He told them that father was standing there unfurling his grand plan involving Mexicans, Stevenson fentanyl. Then Archie interrupt. Dad shifts gear. Something upsets him. Then he went for the piss. Then Maeve told the Archie a traitor. Are you sure Archie is a traitor? Yes. Then Dad came back this time. He was a different fucking guy. Dad sit opposite to Archie and kissed on his hand, then shoot him. I was thinking that what's going on here. Then I saw a gun sticking out the dad's ass crack. 10 Harry asked about Mother. Kevin said she must have known what was coming because she left her post, which was that seat. Then Dad shoot him, who's just as shocked as anybody over what transpired. Harry get the plastic bag. In bedroom, Conrad said I couldn't sleep Maeve because I killed my old friend. Maeve was relaxed, she said. I told you the problem and you dealt with it. He was a liar. You must follow the money. As we soon learn from flashbacks, Harry and Kevin actually go way back. They met in prison, and since then, they've had a pretty close bond. This is also how Harry managed to get into working with the Harrigan family, although this line of work obviously takes its toll. That night, armed police raid Harry's place. He's put in handcuffs and arrested, but he goes willingly. He doesn't fight. He knows that O'Hara, the lifelong Harrigan lawyer we saw briefly last episode, will get him out in a few hours. In the morning, Richie shows up and corners Kevin on the road. He demands to know where Tommy is, but gets nowhere. I've asked Eddie about your son, Tommy. He doesn't know about him. He also told him that O'Hara gonna have out Harry in a couple of hours. So hold your horses. Rich decides to give him an hour to get his house in order. When the cars leave, Kevin rings Bella back home and decides Eddie needs to be moved to the Cotswolds. He's sending 2 of Harry's men over to facilitate this move. The detective is a guy called Fisk, and he tries to offer Harry a lifeline, reinforcing that the Harrigan reign is coming to an end and asks questions about Archie too. Then O'Hara came. She said, "Please start by telling me why you broke into my client's house in front of his family and dragged him down here. We believed that your client can help us for investigation about Archie's murder. Your other client is Conrad, who's associated with the Archie. Now what you want from my client? We just want to know that when he saw Archie last time. So you phone up." We did. He didn't answer. So now I'm going to take my client out. Kiko and Zoja pick up the Eddie to shift him towards the Conrad's house. O'Hara shows at the station and gets Harry out, but it would appear that they have a mole in their midst. O'Hara and Harry know that there must be a reason for the police, and in particular Fisk, moving on Harry and asking damning questions. O'Hara believes the culprit could be Maeve, but without evidence and just finger-pointing, they decide to do some digging rather than just pulling the trigger and repeating Conrad's spectacle from the previous night. Jan rings Harry and asks him, "Where are you, and when will he come back to home?" "I'll be home soon. I've to fix some problems." Then Jan asked about the therapy session. He didn't answer and cut the call. However, rattling Harry is actually part of the police's plan. They know that Harry will be on the hunt for the informant, and through him they can figure out who that is, given it appears they only have anonymous tips to go on. Brendan shows to see his half-sister, Serafina, with a big proposition, but she doesn't even want to hear it. He fumbles his words, and she eventually tells him that he doesn't have the stones for this line of work, encouraging him to leave. Isabella meets her father after a long time. He offered him to meet a Frenchman, and he'll pay you for this. He asked her what's the matter. Then she told him that he'll pay you for introducing him to all your friends in government. Then he said, "Send me the detail." On the behalf of this, she'll also get money if she agreed her dad. While on the move, a big chase ensues around the country roads as Richie intends to grab Eddie as collateral. Zoja drive well, and they also kill one guy. Thankfully, they managed to get Eddie back to Conrad's estate in one piece, but it's definitely touch and go for a while. Conrad said, "Take the car to the old stables. We'll cut her up and dump her later. Both of you did good work." O'Hara and Harry show up at the estate after, with Conrad believing they need to retaliate against Richie. "Because there are multiple bullets hole in the car and my grandson is in it. So this way lead to the war." For now, Harry speaks to Conrad outside, bringing up the incident with Fisk and the police that morning. Harry promises to look out for him and find proof about Archie allegedly being grass. But Conrad is also regretful over killing his brother, talk to Eddie, and sort the Tommy things out. Now reflecting that he probably should have cut his tongue out instead, Harry heads up to see Eddie and brings up that he knows from the CCTV that he was with Tommy. He eventually spills the beans that those two posh kiddies in the taxi at the start of episode 1 are Alfie King and Jack Wiley. They're from Westminster. Then Harry said, "I'm going to meet them to see what they remember." And that sends Harry out to try and calm things with Richie. Kevin said, "Good luck, try your best." Kevin rings the Isabella and told about the Eddie that he's safe now. "When you come back," she said, "I'm not coming down." Then Isabella went to meet Antoine. He said, "My client want to meet your father, and they are very serious people." She said, "Let's talk about the money." Deal's off. Kevin told her dad, Conrad, that Bella is not coming down. That's a shame. "Did you told her about last night?" "Course not." Police hauled Harry and asked about the Archie. Maybe it's a coincidence. Harry thought that Archie was a grass. Harry shows up at the bar to see Richie, but he's not in the mood to play games. He tries to facilitate this as best he can, but Richie soon threatens Gina, sporting multiple pictures of her at school, and a twisted story that's a once upon a time there's a pretty girl. She went to the nice private school. After school, she gets hungry, then she and her mates trot down to the Burger King and order a Whopper. This pretty girl is Gina D'Souza. The director of that story is Harry D'Souza. This story ends. Is it up to the director? It could be a happy ending or could be an unhappy ending. It's down to you. He shows that he's not messing about. He wants Tommy back tonight, and with Gina's life on the line, it causes Harry to spiral. "All you right, Harry, will back with us?" He said yes. "I understood that if I didn't come, then have a very unhappy ending." All of this is not helped by things at home being so fragile and tenuous too, with Jen contemplating seeing a solicitor and potentially divorcing her husband. She soon cottons on that Gina is not safe, especially when Harry mentions Tommy has gone missing. But Harry lies to her and claims that everything is fine. But of course it absolutely is not. Harry next arrives to see Isabella, Kevin's wife. Now, earlier in the episode, we saw her speak to her father, who happens to be a minister in the government, attempting to broach a deal with a French businessman called Antoine. There's certainly no love lost between him and his daughter, though, as evidenced by his snidey remarks about her age. Bella is attempting to leverage this deal, but the timing is awful. We're dealing with shitstorm Richie Stevenson. Get one room and stay here until all blows over with Richie. It's also clear that she has the hots for Harry too, encouraging him to join her in the hotel room that he wants her to stay in. Then she asked how's married life. Mine's rather complicated. He refuses, of course, but it's unclear if they have a history together or not. They may have had an affair, but it's not initially clear if that's the case. For now, Harry heads off to see Jack and Alfie. They bring up what they know regarding the club, but it's clear they're not 100% about the specifics with Tommy. They told Harry that Eddie need a guy. The manager. The owner. Okay, like scrawny geezer. He got a buzz cut and impressive cheekbones and lovely blue eyes. Isn't he? Harry knows he's the boss of bar. They said yes. If you get any information about Tommy, then told me immediately. At the estate, Maeve speaks to Eddie and brings up that she's been raising him all this time. She claims that he's a proper Harrigan and reinforces that she made everybody here. She asked him, "How did you feel when you stuck a knife into him?" "I felt fucking great." Then she gave him a Coke. With time of the essence, Harry shows up at the club where a Prodigy track is playing again. It was Firestarter in episode 1, and this time it's Breathe. Any chance of Smack might be asterisk TCH up or voodoo people in the episodes ahead, do you reckon? Anyway, Harry immediately starts fighting, demanding to know where Tommy is, as he confronts the club manager. He agreed, and he sends Harry down to the basement, where the truth about Tommy is unveiled. Turns out he's been killed and stuffed into a box. Did you do that? He said yes. All alone your own. How long did that take? About 3 hours. No. My dad was a butcher, that then Kiko looked the dead parts of the Tommy inside the box. That's a problem. Oh,